The stars above burned with distant light, but far from Earth, laughter echoed across the void. Massive fleets of alien ships moved in perfect formation, their hulls shining cold metal against the blackness of space. These were not ordinary beings, they were the galaxy's most feared commanders, their fleets undefeated for centuries. Among them, Admiral Varek surveyed the sensors on his flagship. His long, armored fingers tapped impatiently on the control panel. "Pathetic," he muttered. "The humans are weak. Primitive. They barely deserve our attention." His officers exchanged amused glances. "Do we even need to respond, Admiral?" one asked. "Shall we send a small detachment to teach them a lesson?" Varek's eyes glimmered with something cold, almost cruel. "No," he said slowly. "Send the entire fleet. Let the galaxy watch as we erase this insignificant planet from memory." Meanwhile, on Earth, Commander Riley watched the reports coming in from deep space probes. The alien fleet was massive, larger than anything humans had ever faced. It stretched across kilometers, hundreds of ships, bristling with weapons designed to annihilate. Yet Riley did not panic. His mind raced, already calculating tactics, ambushes, and strategies that might give humanity even the smallest chance. "Sir," said Lieutenant Kira Chin, Riley's top pilot, her voice tight with concern, "they are laughing at us. They can see every move we make. They think we are nothing." Riley didn't flinch. "Good," he said. "Let them laugh. They will learn soon enough that humans are nothing if not clever. We may be small, but we are unpredictable." Across the galaxy, alien leaders spoke in harsh, echoing voices. They shared stories of Earth, how humans had barely left their own system, how their weapons were small, their fleets weak. They believed that an attack would be easy, almost like hunting a small, fragile creature. The term human was a joke among them, a word to describe weakness and chaos. Yet, Riley knew that the galaxy underestimated humans for a reason. Humans were bold. Humans were daring. Humans could think in ways that machines and rigid alien minds could not. He activated the Terran Defense Fleet's hidden communication network. Only the most trusted officers received the code. Plans were shared quietly, without alerting the public or the media. Deep in the hangars, humans prepared in silence. Pilots checked weapons, engineers calibrated engines, and Riley moved from ship to ship, encouraging, teaching, and inspiring. Every human on the fleet knew the stakes. Failure would mean annihilation. Success could change the galaxy's understanding of humanity forever. Even as preparations continued, the aliens continued to laugh. "By the time they know what hit them," Admiral Varek said, "it will already be too late. Their cries will echo across the void and then, nothing." But for Riley, the laughter only sharpened his resolve. He remembered the signals, the warning, the plea from a civilization he didn't yet know. That was proof that the galaxy was not invincible. Even the strongest beings could be vulnerable. And humans, clever and unyielding, could exploit that. As the fleet moved closer to the solar system, strange reports began to reach Varek's fleet. Small, fast blips of unknown origin appeared near some of the alien scouts. They vanished as quickly as they appeared. "Report." Varek barked. "What are these?" His lieutenants checked their sensors and shrugged. "Nothing significant, Admiral. Probably minor human ships, nothing to worry about." Varek narrowed his eyes. "Do not underestimate them. The humans may be foolish, but foolishness can be dangerous when combined with courage." On Earth, Riley watched the same blips on his screens and smiled. "They don't see us coming," he whispered to himself. "They think they know humans, but they haven't seen anything yet." At night, Earth seemed calm. Cities glowed softly, unaware of the shadow creeping closer through space. Parents tucked children into bed, pilots slept in quarters, and scientists returned home after long hours of work. But Riley and his team never rested. Every moment counted. Every calculation, every adjustment, could mean the difference between survival and total destruction. A low alarm suddenly sounded in the command center. The blips had multiplied. Alien ships were investigating, but too slowly. Riley seized the moment. "Prepare the first strike," he ordered. "Not a full attack, just a message. Let them know that humans are not what they think. Make them see, even a single human ship can change everything." His officers exchanged nervous glances. "Are you sure, sir?" Lieutenant Chin asked. Riley's eyes burned with determination. "I'm sure. The galaxy laughs at humans, and they will regret it. One day they will remember the name human. But today they will learn a lesson. A small one, but enough to change everything." And far in the darkness, as alien ships continued their advance, a new threat quietly emerged. The galaxy had expected nothing from Earth. It had expected weakness, chaos, and surrender. But it was about to learn that humans were clever, bold, and unafraid. The first moves had been made. The unexpected war had begun. The vastness of space stretched endlessly, silent and cold. But near the outer edge of the solar system, a small group of human ships moved with purpose. They were nothing compared to the massive alien fleet, yet they carried something far more dangerous: human cunning. Commander Riley stood on the bridge of the flagship Horizon, staring at the blips on the holographic display. His jaw was tight, his eyes focused. "This is it," he said quietly. "Our first move. They don't expect us. That is our advantage. Use it wisely." Lieutenant Kira Chin, the fleet's top pilot, nodded. "We're ready, sir. All ships are armed and shields at full capacity. Engines are primed for maximum speed." Riley smiled faintly. "Good. Remember, we are not trying to win a war yet. We are sending a message. One they will never forget." Far beyond the human fleet, Admiral Varek and his lieutenants monitored the sector. Their sensors had picked up the small human movement, but they dismissed it with a laugh. "They think they can face us," Varek said. "Pathetic. Send 2 squadrons to destroy them. End this game quickly." The humans, however, were ready. As the alien scouts approached, Riley gave the signal. Small attack ships sprang forward, weaving between asteroids, using the terrain to hide from enemy sensors. The humans struck with precision, targeting alien communication arrays and disabling a few lightly armored ships before vanishing again. The aliens froze in disbelief. "Impossible," one officer said. They are already causing damage?" Riley's eyes glimmered with determination. "They think in straight lines. We think in curves and shadows. Never underestimate humans." The human fleet retreated, leaving the aliens frustrated and confused. Reports of the ambush spread quickly across Varek's fleet. The larger ships, slow and heavily armed, could not match the speed and unpredictability of the humans. Every attack seemed almost playful, yet it inflicted real damage. Meanwhile, back on Earth, scientists and military leaders watched live feeds with growing astonishment. No one could believe what they were seeing. A tiny human fleet, mere dozens of ships, had struck the much larger alien force. Some were cheering, others shaking their heads in disbelief. But Riley knew the cost of miscalculation. The aliens would retaliate, and when they did, humanity would need every advantage it could muster. As the battle continued, Riley's fleet used a combination of hacking and clever maneuvers. Alien ships were disrupted from within, their weapons misfiring, engines stalling. The humans had anticipated their technology, turning alien strength into weakness. Each move was calculated, precise, and designed to confuse. Varek slammed his fist on the control panel. "Enough," he roared. "Send the warships. Crush them before they learn more. They are clever, yes, but they cannot survive a full assault." The humans were ready. Riley anticipated this move and positioned the fleet near an asteroid field. When the massive alien warships arrived, they were slowed by the debris. Human ships darted in and out, hitting weak points in shields and weapon systems. The aliens, for the first time in centuries, felt fear creeping into their calculations. During the clash, Riley observed the chaos with calm precision. "Every action has a reaction," he muttered. "They think they are invincible. Let them think, while we strike from the shadows." The first casualties appeared on both sides, but the humans inflicted more damage than expected. Alien officers began questioning their own strategies. "These humans, they are unpredictable. Their movements, it's like they anticipate our every thought." Riley smiled grimly. "Exactly." As night fell on Earth, the human fleet pulled back just enough to avoid a full-scale retaliation. But the message had been sent. The galaxy was beginning to notice that humans were not what they seemed. Clever, brave, and unafraid, humans had turned a minor strike into a significant shockwave across the alien command. Back on Varek's flagship, the Admiral stared at the blinking red warning lights. "They are only a fraction of our strength," he muttered. "And yet we cannot ignore them. They are dangerous. More than we expected." On the horizon, Riley prepared for the next phase. The first clash was a success, but it was only the beginning. Humans had proven that cleverness could outmatch sheer size and firepower. But he knew the aliens would adapt, and the next move would be far more deadly. Riley turned to his officers. "Remember this," he said, voice low but firm. "Today we made them see us. Tomorrow we make them respect us. Humans may be small, but we leave a mark wherever we go. The galaxy will remember our name. And somewhere deep in the darkness of space, the alien fleet began to rethink everything. The galaxy had underestimated humans, but that mistake would soon have consequences no one could ignore. The unexpected war had begun, and the humans had already made the first strike. The darkness of space stretched endlessly, silent and cold. Yet something had changed. The alien fleet, once confident and laughing, now moved cautiously. Small human strikes had shown them that Earth's defenders were clever, unpredictable, and dangerous. But the galaxy was about to discover something far more shocking. Commander Riley sat on the bridge of the horizon, his hands steepled in thought. Reports had arrived from research teams hidden deep in orbit and on remote colonies. Human scientists had been working for years, secretly developing technology far beyond what the aliens expected. This was not just a fleet, it was a revelation. "Sir," Lieutenant Kirichin said, her voice tight with excitement, "the new weapons are ready. Energy shields, rapid-fire plasma cannons, and stealth systems, they are operational. The aliens don't even know we have them." Riley leaned forward. "Good. But remember, this isn't about attacking blindly. We strike only when the time is right. This is about strategy, not destruction. Our secret weapon is not just the tech, it is the way we use it." Far beyond, Admiral Varek's fleet sensed the change. Alien sensors began picking up anomalies. Ships disappeared from sight, only to strike again moments later. Communications were being hacked, sensors jammed, and alien strategies failing before they even began. Varek's officers were growing uneasy. "They hide more than we expected," said one lieutenant, his voice trembling. "Their technology, it's like nothing we've seen." Varek's face hardened. "They are humans. They are supposed to be weak, chaotic. Yet they are precise. Too precise. Send scouts. Find the source of these anomalies." But Riley was already ahead. Humans had anticipated this move. Using stealth ships and decoys, they created confusion across the alien fleet. Blinking lights, false signals, and sudden attacks made it impossible for aliens to coordinate. Every move the humans made seemed almost prophetic. On Earth, scientists monitored the battle from secure underground facilities. Dr. Hannah Patel stared at the displays in awe. "Sir," she said to Riley via secure channel, "the alien fleet is reacting exactly as we predicted. Every human maneuver is causing chaos. They can't believe it." Riley nodded. "Good. Let them think they are adapting. They are learning, but too slowly. By the time they understand, it will be too late." Varek, growing frustrated, called a council of his top commanders. "These humans, they are more dangerous than I ever imagined. Every strike is calculated, every retreat planned. It's as if they know our thoughts before we even act." One officer hesitated. "Admiral, perhaps we underestimated them. Perhaps humans are capable of more than mere survival." Varek's eyes narrowed. "We do not underestimate anyone. Prepare for full assault. But watch closely. Humans are clever. Too clever." Meanwhile, Riley received alarming intelligence. An alien detachment was moving toward Earth's outer defense perimeter, faster than expected. "We have a problem," he muttered. "They are testing us, probing for weakness." He turned to Chin. "Prepare the stealth units. We hit them before they realize what we're doing. Remember, the goal is to survive and confuse. We must make them question everything they think they know about humans." The first human stealth ships moved silently through asteroid fields and nebulae, striking alien scouts with pinpoint accuracy. Explosions lit the dark void, and alien ships scrambled to respond. They had never faced an enemy like this, an enemy that was small, smart, and unpredictable. On the alien flagship, panic began to grow. Varek's officers reported damaged ships, lost scouts, and repeated confusion across the formation. "How is this possible?" Varek demanded. "They should be helpless. They should be weak." Riley, watching the alien reactions, allowed himself a small smile. The secret of humanity was no longer just technology. It was strategy, courage, and the willingness to take risks the aliens could not even imagine. Humans were more than ships and weapons. They were clever, adaptive, and relentless. As night fell on Earth, the planet remained quiet. Cities lit with peaceful lights, unaware of the war unfolding in the stars above. But humanity's secret was now in motion. The aliens were beginning to understand that Earth was not just a primitive world. Humans were capable of feats that no one in the galaxy had expected. Riley stood on the bridge of the horizon, staring at the blinking red dots on the holographic map, the alien fleet scattered and confused. "They thought they knew us," he said softly. "They thought we were weak. They are about to learn the truth. Humans leave a mark, even when they are small." And somewhere far in the galaxy, Admiral Varric realized the gravity of the situation. The humans he had dismissed were not just surviving, they were rewriting the rules of war. The galaxy's laughter had faded, replaced by fear. And the unexpected war was far from over. The humans had secrets. The galaxy would soon regret underestimating them. The stars above Earth seemed calm, but the galaxy was anything but peaceful. The alien fleet had regrouped, massive warships stretching across space like a dark storm. Their confidence was shaken, but the commanders were still deadly. They underestimated humans once, they would not make that mistake again. Commander Riley watched the holographic displays on the horizon, his fingers tracing the positions of both human and alien ships. "They think they can recover," he said quietly. "They think they've adapted. They're wrong. They've only seen the beginning." Lieutenant Kira Chen adjusted her console, eyes sharp. "Sir, the alien fleet is splitting into 3 divisions. They are trying to encircle us." Riley nodded. "Good. Let them. It will make our next move even more effective." Far in the void, Admiral Varric growled in frustration. "They are clever, yes, but they cannot survive a full assault. Send the entire fleet. Leave no human ship alive." But Riley had anticipated this. Using decoy ships and stealth maneuvers, humans drew the alien divisions apart, stretching their formation and causing confusion. Alien sensors reported phantom ships, attacks from impossible angles and shields failing inexplicably. Every move humans made created doubt in the enemy ranks. Back on Earth, scientists and military leaders watched in awe. "I've never seen anything like this," Dr. Hannah Patel whispered. "A tiny human fleet is controlling the battlefield." Riley's voice came through the secure channel to every ship. "Remember, we fight smart, not just hard. Every strike must have purpose. Every retreat is part of a larger plan. Humans do not panic. Humans adapt." As the alien division struggled to coordinate, Riley ordered the first major offensive. Human ships darted from hidden positions near asteroids, striking alien warships with precision plasma fire. Engines failed, shields flickered, and weapons misfired. The aliens for the first time tasted fear. Varric slammed his fist on the command console. How are they doing this? They are supposed to be weak. They should not be able to fight like this." A lieutenant answered hesitantly, "Sir, it's not just strategy. They seem fearless. They take risks we would never consider. And somehow it works." Riley watched the chaos unfold. "They expect us to follow logic," he muttered. "But humans are not bound by logic alone. We fight with courage, intuition, and a little unpredictability." The turning point came when Riley led a small strike team deep into enemy lines. Using stealth technology and precise calculations, they disabled the central alien command ship. Suddenly, alien communications faltered, leaving their fleet disoriented. Ships drifted without orders, some firing on each other by mistake. On Varric's flagship, alarms blared. "Report," he shouted. "What is happening?" Lieutenant Chen smirked slightly, watching the holographic map. "Sir, it's working. The fleet is falling apart. They didn't see us coming." Riley's eyes narrowed. "Good. Keep the pressure on. Let them realize that humans cannot be contained. Let them feel the fear we have been fighting to survive against all odds." In the middle of the chaos, Earth's defense forces coordinated perfectly with Riley's fleet. Missile launches, orbital defenses, and human warships combined into a deadly dance. Aliens struggled to adapt, their technology advanced but rigid, their minds unprepared for such clever resistance. Varric's face turned pale. He had led fleets across hundreds of worlds, conquered planets, and crushed civilizations. Yet he had never seen anything like this. Humans were small, fragile, and yet, somehow, unstoppable. "Retreat?" one officer whispered in disbelief. "No," Varric snapped. "We regroup. But mark my words, they will pay for this." Riley, however, knew the truth. The aliens were shaken. The turning point had been achieved. Humans had proved that cleverness, courage, and strategy could rival sheer size and firepower. The galaxy had begun to realize that Earth was not a simple, weak planet. Humans left a mark, one that would echo far beyond their system. As night fell over Earth, Riley addressed his fleet. "Today we survived. Today we showed them that humans are not to be taken lightly. But the war is not over. We fight for our homes, our people, and the right to exist. Humans leave a mark, and the galaxy will never forget it." Somewhere in the distant darkness, Admiral Varric studied the aftermath of the battle. His fleet was damaged, his pride wounded. The humans were clever, fearless, and unpredictable. The galaxy had underestimated them once and it would be the last time. The turning point had come. Humans had fought not just to survive, but to change the way the galaxy saw them forever. The unexpected war was far from over, but humanity had shown its strength. The void of space was alive with tension. The alien fleet, once confident and mocking, now moved cautiously. Ships were damaged, formations broken, and officers whispered in fear. Humanity had survived the first strikes, had fought with cunning and courage, and now the galaxy would finally remember their name. Commander Riley stood on the bridge of the horizon, eyes scanning the holographic battlefield. His fleet was smaller, but every ship was ready, every crew member alert. "This is the moment," he said quietly. "The moment we show the galaxy what humans can do." Lieutenant Kira Chen gripped the console. "Sir, they're massing for a full counterattack. Thousands of ships are aligning. They will try to crush us once and for all." Riley nodded. "Let them come. We are ready. Humans survive because we adapt, we think, and we fight smarter than any enemy expects." Far away, Admiral Varek glared at his sensors. "They have survived every strike, every ambush. They are stronger than we imagined." His officers shivered. "Sir, they are not just strong. They are clever. They anticipate us." Varek clenched his fists. "Enough. Send everything. Leave no human ship alive. But prepare for losses. They are unlike any enemy we've faced before." On the horizon, Riley activated a new system, the secret weapon humanity had been preparing for years. The engines hummed with hidden power, shields glowed brighter, and energy cannons aligned with pinpoint precision. But it was not just technology, it was strategy, psychology, and unpredictability combined. The first wave of alien ships approached, confident in their numbers and firepower. But the humans struck first. Small stealth ships darted between enemy warships, disabling weapons, jamming communications, and leaving confusion in their wake. The aliens fired blindly, hitting each other in some cases. Riley's voice cut through the comms. "Remember, we fight smart. Hit them where they are weak, vanish before they retaliate. Make them fear every corner of space." The battle escalated. Explosions lit the darkness like distant stars, alien ships twisted and turned under relentless human attacks. Riley's fleet moved like a single organism, coordinated, precise, and merciless. For the first time the aliens felt true fear. Their confidence, their arrogance, and their centuries of experience were crumbling. Ships that once towered above worlds now struggled against humans they had dismissed. Varek's flagship was surrounded. Alarms blared. How can they do this?" he demanded. "They are small, insignificant. Yet they control the battlefield." Lieutenant Chin whispered to Riley, her eyes wide. "Sir, we're doing it. We're winning." Riley did not smile. He knew the danger was far from over. But this was the moment humans left their mark. "Yes," he said quietly. "And the galaxy will never forget." The humans pressed forward, striking at alien command centers, destroying communications, and forcing the alien fleet into chaos. Ships retreated, formations shattered, and commanders panicked. One by one the aliens realized that Earth was not weak, primitive, or disorganized. Humanity was clever, adaptive, and fearless. On Earth, millions watched the final reports with disbelief and awe. Humans had not only survived, they had won a decisive victory. The name human was no longer a word of mockery. It was a name whispered across the galaxy with respect, fear, and awe. Back on the horizon, Riley addressed his fleet. "We have survived," he said, voice firm. "We have shown the galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated. Today we fight for our homes. Tomorrow they will remember who we are. Humans leave a mark, everywhere we go." Varek, his fleet retreating in disarray, knew the truth. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were dangerous. Humans were a force the galaxy had ignored at its peril. As silence returned to the battlefield, Riley looked at the stars. The war was far from over, but humanity had proven itself. Small, clever, and brave humans had faced impossible odds, and emerged victorious. Somewhere in the distant reaches of the galaxy, alien commanders whispered to each other, fear and respect mingling in their voices. "Do you remember the humans?" one asked. "Yes," another replied. "Never forget. Never underestimate. The galaxy will remember their name, forever." And so, the day came when the galaxy learned that humans were not just survivors. They were clever, brave, and unyielding. They were a species that left a mark the universe would never forget. Humanity had begun to carve its legend among the stars. The day began like any other on Earth, calm and quiet. But far beyond the solar system, something stirred. Strange signals appeared suddenly, cutting through the silent void of space. Scientists at the Global Space Observatory stared at their monitors in disbelief. No one knew where these signals came from. They were neither natural nor human-made. They were intelligent. At the center of the observatory, Commander Riley stood, his eyes fixed on the flickering data. He was tall, with sharp features and a mind that never rested. Years in the Terran defense had trained him for crises, but even he felt a chill run down his spine. These signals were different. There was urgency in them, almost like a warning or a plea. "Sir, the frequency patterns are not like anything we've seen before," said Dr. Hannah Patel, a young astrophysicist. Her voice trembled slightly, betraying her fear. "It's like they're asking for help. Or shouting a warning." Riley nodded. "Exactly. And we have to treat it seriously. I've seen this before. Signals like this rarely end well if ignored." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, advanced civilizations watched Earth through hidden sensors and probes. Many laughed at the small blue planet. Primitive, disorganized, weak, they whispered. To them, humans were nothing but a curiosity. They did not expect that anyone on Earth could even understand the signals, let alone respond. But Riley did. He was clever, brave, and willing to take risks. While political leaders debated and scientists speculated, Riley made his move. He requested an urgent meeting with the Earth Defense Council. In the council chamber, leaders argued as usual. "It's probably nothing," said Minister Vorik, arms crossed. "Humans cannot face even one of the smaller fleets in the galaxy. We should not waste resources on speculation." Riley's jaw tightened. "This is not a request," he said, his voice low but firm. "This is a warning. The signals, they are not asking for a conversation. They are sending a message. And if we do not act, the consequences could be catastrophic." Some council members shook their heads, unconvinced. But Riley did not wait for approval. He knew time was short. Quietly, he began preparing a small fleet, selecting ships and pilots he trusted most. They would be ready for whatever came their way, even if the rest of humanity remained unaware. As Riley worked, the signals grew stronger, clearer. The message revealed glimpses of a civilization in distress. Their words, though encoded in alien frequencies, carried fear and desperation. Something threatened them. Something powerful. And the most alarming part? A fleet, massive and silent, was moving toward the solar system. It was slow but unstoppable, like a shadow stretching across the stars. Riley watched the monitors as the blip of alien ships grew larger with each passing hour. He knew that if these beings reached Earth first, humanity might not have a chance. At the observatory, Riley convened his team. "We have very little time," he said. "We don't know who they are or what they want. But we do know this: if they arrive, they will not negotiate. Earth must be ready." Dr. Patel looked at him nervously. "Sir, what can we do? We have no fleet that can face something like this." Riley's eyes gleamed with determination. "We may be small, but we are smart. Humans have survived worse than this. We will use our minds, our strategy, and our courage. That is our strength. The galaxy underestimates us, and that is their first mistake." Outside the observatory, satellites and telescopes tracked the approaching fleet. Massive shapes glinted in the darkness of space, moving with precision and purpose. No human had seen anything like it. It was a terrifying sight, and yet Riley felt a spark of hope. If humans acted wisely, they could turn the galaxy's assumptions upside down. Night fell over Earth, but the tension did not fade. Riley stayed at his console, analyzing every detail of the signals, mapping the trajectory of the alien fleet and preparing contingency plans. The world slept unaware, but the commander knew that the coming days would decide humanity's fate. The signal repeated once more, urgent and clear: "Help us, or be warned." Riley understood instantly. This was bigger than Earth. This was bigger than humanity. It was the first sign of a war the galaxy had not yet expected. And on that quiet, ordinary day, humanity's underdogs began their secret preparations. The galaxy had laughed at Earth, dismissed humans as weak and irrelevant. But Riley knew the truth. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and willing to fight for survival against all odds. Somewhere in the dark void of space, the alien fleet continued its slow march toward the solar system. They had no idea what awaited them. And the galaxy was about to remember the name: human.